Hi, my name is Noshad, some of you guys know me as Shalom, and this is Spurs video podcast. Sorry for not doing a couple of YouTubes, international break. I thought I could do with a break, and given our recent run results, thinking about Spurs is extremely painful. But, you know, I always said that supporting Spurs is like being a fan of any club, it's a roller coaster, and there's going to be ups and downs, and if you want to enjoy the ups, you've got to appreciate the downs as well, and vice versa. And it's a ride. Hence, that's why I'm wearing my Eddie Cohen Ride the Wave t-shirt. And I hope Eduardo Cohen enjoys it. Yeah, the reason I'm doing that is Eddie's Cuban, and I take piss out of that. Shit, it takes piss out of me with being Bengali. But still, that's how we roll EKBJ. Racism bound. In a friendly way. No, it's been a very interesting, obviously, we lose 3 games in a row, and the knives come out. Oh, we know that Andre Villas-Boas, he's shit. You know what? Were there mistakes? Yeah. Carl Walker with his absolutely bizarre, kickback. I'm not over it. It's old news. And then then we played against Fulham, and I don't know. Maybe ABM was watching the UFC. He saw Nick Diaz and thought, yeah, I like how his left field mind works because he puts Benny out on the left. And there is a logic to that. And we are our best when we can get width. Benny is a good overlapping fullback, but he isn't, and if it works, I'll be like, oh, AVB is a genius. Gets it wrong. Boo, AVB. Wow, I thought it was bizarre personally. I think to make that kind of, to use the width that we have on the flanks, you need a passer in midfield. I like Dembele. I think he's got a great pass coverage, excellent. He's got in the top 10 or something. But how many of those actually are pass forward? How many of those create a crossing or a key? I call the pass before the cross or the pass before the pass. I'm not saying he doesn't do that. He's very creative, but he's no Luka Modric. He was never going to be either. I still when you look at that, we were flat against Fulham. We were very, very poor. Doing so both stuff, and I'll give credit to I call him count one count, but he said, look, scored, hands up, didn't celebrate, and that was quite classy from the guy. We were poor, and we did obviously knackered. And I said, look, I would actually love to play Tom Carroll. I thought Scotty Parker. Then 90 minutes against Liverpool, 120 minutes against Inter Milan. I would defy any of our players not to be tired. Obviously, it's not our players will be tired. One thing that really annoys me is that this 4-4-2, it doesn't work with Addy and JD. They just don't play well together in this 4-4-2. 4-4-2 did used to work. It doesn't work anymore. It's now about who can win possession in midfield. It's about having those numbers from midfield, and it's about lone strikers now. And although JD was defying the odds at the beginning of the season, unfortunately, is he someone we'd let go during the season? Yeah, if someone came in with gave us, I don't know, 8-9 million for him, I'd take it, because JD is a player for another era. Same with Addy. I don't know what's wrong with Addy. He's got all the talent. We know it. Obviously, he has different service. And then he had Rafa and Luka, and let's face it, we haven't really replaced Luka. Rafa we're going to replace. We have replaced him, but with different kind of players. And he's not really been fully on form. Any Arsenal fan or City fan will tell you, once he gets his contract after the first year, he don't give a shit. I like to think that isn't true. I like to think that his experiences and unfortunate time in Angola, changed that. But we'll never know really what goes on in his head. He's obviously greatly talented, but it happens. But that's the thing about being a fan. You have to ride the wave sometimes. When you're surfing that wave, sometimes you'll be like, and it looks beautiful and it's great. But unfortunately, sometimes you end up getting knocked off your ass, and and that's when you have to go, get back, paddle your board out there, and just get back on that board. Against Swansea, it's interesting. Obviously, we were hoping Swansea would do us a favour. Again, that's kind of lapsing into what we were last season, looking for other teams to do us favours. I hope it doesn't come to that again. And Swansea, I honestly do believe it's the effect of the Carling Cup. Very few teams tend to win that competition and then have a stellar season. Obviously, well, I know Chelsea had one in 2007. I think they did. I think they won 2 trophies that year. I think they won. Yeah, they won 2007. Yeah, they won that, and then won the FA Cup. But let's look at our season. We won the League Cup. Birmingham City 2011. It doesn't. Generally teams win that, especially when you've kind of guaranteed yourself safety. There's very little to play for. I'm not saying those players are on their holidays, but there's no international tournament. Swansea are pretty safe. They've got their magical 40 points. Are this team going to be that motivated to? I'm not too sure. I'm hoping that we go out and we play the best Swansea that is available. But I just question the fact that are they going to be motivated? And obviously, Michael Laudrup will have to try and manage that. But it's difficult. How do you motivate the players that are really? Let's face it. This last season they really overachieved by staying in the Premiership. This season by doing as well as they have. I mean, it's just incredible. And then yes, we play shit against Fulham, but let's face it. Look at Bayern. Bayern were bloody awful against Arsenal. They were woeful. Yeah, and I just thought, well, if that happens to a great team like Bayern, I'm not saying excuses us. Were we tired? Yeah, and I'm very grateful that he doesn't use that tiredness as an excuse. But ultimately, we were tired. I would definitely change the formation around. I would definitely bring Tom Carroll. He's got that youthful exuberance. He's got an appetite for the game, and that's the kind of appetite you'd hope would that is infectious and that infects the other players, and they get up on their A game. Let's not forget that playing Luka Modric in the middle was really to accommodate Gareth Bale. We used to play Huddleston and Wilson Palacios, and then bring Luka in off the left flank, which would always leave Benny horribly overexposed. As soon as we had balance on both flanks, and there was Luka in the middle pulling the strings, it was beautiful. Obviously Huddleston, and it worked. Huddleston's a big lump, and although he's not the classic defensive midfielder, he could play a bit. He could put his foot in. You wouldn't be kicking him off the ball. And I really think that with Dembele's dribbling ability, if it comes to it too a bit too mean, get in there, then all you've got to do is just pass it to Dembele and let him run and get coverage. And I think with Carroll, he'll look to play deep, because there was if you saw the England under-21s, some of the passing he played, some reverse balls. All right, let's face it, the team he was playing, Romania. I think it was Romania under-21s. They weren't a fantastic team, but he got on the ball. He was looking to play, thread through balls in behind fullback. And I think definitely I'd actually restore Gareth Bale back to the left wing. I'd say to him, Gareth, I know you like playing, like hovering, but you know what? You're gonna be in the left wing or behind the striker, but you're not gonna, yes, you're gonna be hovering. On the right flank, this is all awkward. I mean, hopefully Aaron Lennon's back, and if he is back, then I'd definitely play him for that game. I wouldn't play him against Basel. I think he's got a hamstring injury, plus that groin problem, which he's had for a long time actually, if memory serves. That's something he's going to require, probably maybe surgery maybe in the summer. I think he's to manage it very, very well, like we did Lady King. So definitely, assuming Aaron Lennon is fit, I would play a double pivot of Carroll and Dembele. I'm not sure what's happening with Dawes. I'm hoping he's going to be fit. Dawes Vertonghen. I'll have Kyle Walker back at right back, Benny at left back, Hugo Lloris, and definitely one thing I say going forward, Hugo Lloris all the way. I mean, I like Brad. I love Brad, but even Brad Friedel will admit that he's not a better goalkeeper than Hugo Lloris. He isn't, and it's hard to say it, but sometimes you have to accept that. Is he a good keeper? Yes, he is. But we have to change our style of football so much to accommodate him. And I just don't think. And again, the goalkeeper is such an important player, and I think Hugo Lloris, he's probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world, captain of the France national team. I just think we have to basically look to play him as often as we can now, and really, I want to say we've got 13 cup finals. Obviously, we've got the 8 league games, potentially 5 Europa League games if we go through all the way to the final. Go to, I believe it's Amsterdam. I was hoping it could be Rotterdam or anywhere, Liverpool or Rome, but Rotterdam's anywhere at home. Quite to the beautiful south. I love that song. But no, it'd be interesting. 'Cause obviously, we're the first British team to win a European trophy. We won it in Holland, in Rotterdam. I do believe that John White's dad's, Rob White's dad's John White scored, the ghost himself scored, and scored the winner against Atletico Madrid. So 50 years on, for us to do it, visit history. Obviously Basel are a good side. They knocked out Zenit and Petersburg, who were, a very good side. But Zenit, you never know. It's an awkward team because yes, they've got loads of money, but all that money can't destabilise. You've got some players are pissed that other players have got this much money and we don't. It's a bit of a muddle, I think. But credit to Basel. They did, or Basel or Basel, how you want to pronounce it. They did beat Zenit and Petersburg. They're not too underrated. Man United made that mistake last season. They haven't got the same players as Shaqiri. I can't remember who else it was, but yeah, definitely it will be an interesting tie. Me personally, I would actually look to bring Clint Dempsey, Sigurdsson and Holtby, and let those three, and they play a very narrow, like five. Bring back in Parker. Would I play Huddleston? Maybe. Because he's slow. It's a European game. That might suit him a little bit. And really, if we can get through these, because we've got 4 really weird league games. We've got Swansea game, which we have to win now, because Arsenal are going to try and catch up on us. We've got Man City and Chelsea, or Man City at home, Chelsea away. It'd be interesting because I think if Man City, I really do think that if Man United win this Saturday, and if Man City don't get 3 points, I think, I'm not saying the title will be over, but it'll be what I think they got a 16-point lead or something like that, and it'll be so difficult for them to claw it back. I just think so, and I think by the time we play them, they'll be so deflated, and hopefully we can get a win there, but we'll never know. Let's just see how that goes. But yeah, I think are we a team that can win? Yeah, of course I think we can win. I think we can still get 4th. I understand a lot of people were pissed, and there were boos. I think it's more frustration that we are pissed. And he said, look, we weren't playing that. We didn't play that well. We got what we deserved, and I'll credit his honesty. I look at us and I think, I'm not saying he's tinkering, because let's face it, if Lennon and Bale are out, we don't have a effective squad cover. And those saying, oh, we shouldn't let Andros Townsend go, blah blah blah. Injuries are a part of football. What if Andros Townsend had been here, and Aaron Lennon and Gareth Bale had not been injured and they'd been fully fit and they played all the games? Andros Townsend would not have developed the development he has now, as a result of going out on line. He wouldn't have had. End of story. There are always risks if you loan out any player. Danny Rose, we let him go. We shouldn't have done that. It was stupid. No. Danny Rose is a much better left back because of he's gone out on loan. And if we look to sell him, which I think probably we might do, so look, he's played a whole season. This is his level. You can get a decent price for him. That's just how it works. Yes, is it? Yeah. Do I regret losing Andros Townsend? Yeah, but obviously you can't predict there's going to be injuries. They can happen. Obviously, it can happen with anyone. Shit. What if the entire team got broken legs? They crashed their cars or something. It can happen. Injuries can happen to everyone. That doesn't mean you don't. You have to look. What's the best? What's best for Andros? What's best for the club? And how do you compromise and reconcile those two things? And I think Andros Townsend. I've met Andros a couple of times. He's a really nice guy, and I think he'll come back next season. Hopefully he'll go on to do really well for us. But we'll see how that goes. Lewis Holtby, he said, look, that's something I don't get. He said, look, I haven't had a real pre-season with you guys. I don't really know the team, and we're not on the same wavelength. I think that's very, very important. I think with Schalke, that he's played with these guys week in, week out for God knows how long. And even at Schalke, apparently he wasn't always on his, he didn't have always the best game. He wasn't very consistent. And but when he was on fire, the passing, the vision, the awareness was superb. I definitely think the Europa League games are a good way to bet him in. And those who say, we want to win a trophy, I want to win a trophy as well. Don't be wrong, I love winning trophies. But you know what? Champions League, that's 50 million a year. Simple as. That's 50 million a year. That's keeping Gareth Bale. Yeah. I'm not these guys. Would you like to? Those guys who want to win the Europa League trophy and came not fifth. Would you want to win the Europa League and lose Gareth Bale? Or would you want to be in the Champions League season and keep Gareth Bale? That's the way I think people should look at it. And so yeah, I'm hoping Swansea. Hopefully Tom Carroll can come in. I don't think Swansea are a team of kickers. They're a team of passers. They're playing a counter-attacking style. Hopefully Lennon's fit. I'm praying Lennon's fit, because because when Bale and Lennon are fit, and hopefully, who knows, we can sneak a 1-0 win up there. And because Swansea did play well, but Arsenal just took their chances, and hopefully we can do the same, and we can build upon that. And I know it's a spiral defeats, but you know what? You can turn that around, and just as Arsenal did, and why can't we do that? So I'm going to keep believing. I'm always going to be rooting for Spurs. I hope you guys do too. Shout out to a new subscriber, a good mate of mine, Jimmy Chang. So thank you for subscribing, James. Shout out to Stookie, who I've kind of disparaged Bayern Munich, but let's face it, Bayern Munich. Let's face it, you guys owe Spurs so much. Don't let us down, please. You let us down twice, mate. Shit, what the hell are you doing to us? Seriously, come on, Bayern. Do you really hate Spurs that much? Seriously. No, so yeah, thank you for listening. I'm sorry there's no Dom. Unfortunately, Dom's not feeling very well, so, the YouShubes cocktail is missing a bit of Dom Perignon, sadly, but hopefully he'll be back very, very soon. I'm going to shout out to my mate Kevin G from across the pond. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, buddy. I got a good one. And, in terms of what I think we need to do right now, just play this game. You put all your eggs into the Swansea basket, and you just try and win this game. And then Basel, you do your best. I think, can we win the Europa League? Yeah, I think on our day we can beat anyone. A good interesting statistic, if you look at that Carling Cup final when we played Chelsea, on paper they're the better side. I mean, I think strikers wise, you'd say, I don't know, I think Drogba's one of the best strikers I've ever seen. I think, strikers wise, you could say it was roughly equal, but Drogba I think is a better striker. Centre halves, again, you can call it equal, but let's face it, Ledley King's always better than John Terry. Goalkeepers, I think we know how that one works. I think, but all in all, that Chelsea are a better side than us. All over, and yet we somehow managed to eke out a victory over them. And I really do think if we can go to Rotterdam, who knows, Amsterdam even, we can, and it's just Chelsea, which I think it will be. I still think we can win. Let's keep the faith, and let's keep believing. We are Tottenham. We are mighty super Tottenham from the lane, and let's come on, you Spurs! Come on, you Spurs!